Let's start with some balance. Now, depending on your situation at home, if you can go barefoot, some people don't go barefoot because they have supportive shoes and they need the support in their feet, which is fine. Someone is trying to call me. There we go. Back on. All right. So it's fine if you want to have your feet supported with shoes on, but if you are okay with taking your shoes off, go ahead and take them off. We're going to work on your balance for a little bit. I like to take off my shoes because it helps me really get grounded with the floor. My feet, my toes can kind of spread out a little bit, and they kind of open up and expand. Gives me a greater surface area on the floor when I don't have my shoes on. Because obviously when you have your shoes on, your feet are constricted within the shoe. So they can only open up so much, whereas here on the ground, they can really start to open and relax and spread out, giving you more surface area, giving you more stability and balance. So think about your core. Stand as tall as you can. Pick a leg. It doesn't matter. The challenge is just trying to balance without using your chair. But if you need your chair, use your chair. It's totally fine. Remember to bring in the stomach. Right? Pull in the belly button. And try not to rely on the chair. But if you can, on occasion, let go of it. Maybe you're holding on. If you can let go for a couple of seconds and grab it again, give it a try. All right, so remember to stand tall. Engage your core. Shoulders are back a little bit. All right, so the chest is lifted and your shoulders come back a little bit. Right? Tighten up the stomach. Work on the balance. If you want more of a challenge, you bring that leg forward and then you reach up with the arms. And hold this for 20 minutes. Just kidding. How about 10 more seconds? Do what you can. You can even do this with one arm, holding onto the chair. One arm is up, reaching. That leg is still out in front of you. So you can kind of play with it with that arm in the chair. And let's switch sides. So let's go to the other leg. Same thing. Starting off slow. Allowing your foot to kind of get grounded with the floor, get used to that surface of the ground, and start to open up the feet and toes a little, expand the foot. And it'll just kind of happen on its own over time. We're going to continue to work on our balance today quite a bit. And the great thing about balance is it involves a lot of core. So core and balance go hand in hand. Especially single leg balance, it helps us with everyday movement, walking. For a brief moment, when you walk, you are on one leg. Reach up if you can, add a little challenge, bring that leg forward if you can. Maybe you can't bring the leg forward and you can't bring both arms up, but you can do maybe one arm, keep that leg down. So kind of just mess with your arms, mess with the legs a little bit, make it a little more challenging. Right, do what you can. Having those arms up and that leg up forward throws off your center of gravity. So it makes it a little more challenging for your leg to balance. Makes your core work harder, which is good. That's what we want. We want to challenge our balance. We want to challenge our core. So that when we get into real life situations, your body is used to it and can handle whatever situation you encounter outside. So we try to make things more challenging when we exercise so that when we apply it to real life situations, it's easy. Practice. It's just like practice. That's what professionals do. All right, switch legs again. Professionals work on their craft. They get really good. So when it's game time situation, it's easy for them. So practice is always pretty challenging and intense. So let's switch legs again. Engage your core. Try to really let go now. Try not to rely on that chair. Hopefully your balance is a little bit better the second time around. Now from here, arms are going to stay in. Get comfortable with your arms. If you're holding onto the chair with one hand, that's fine. But make sure that other arm is comfortable and loose and relaxed. From here, that leg that's up, you're going to straighten it out and have it out to the side. A little leg lift. Now try not to let that foot touch the ground. All right, you just lift up as high as you can. It doesn't even have to be your maximum lift, maximum height. Just get it off the ground, lift it away from the ground, and try to maintain your balance without touching the chair. If you need to grab and hold on to the chair, totally fine. You're still working on one leg balance. Keep your core tight. Do what you can. You should really feel that down leg working, which is good. That's what we want. Let's do 3 more, 2 more. Last one, other leg. Now for me, I'm just moving the chair over to the other side for the convenience of you seeing me in the video, but you can just simply turn around and do a 180 and go to the other leg, go to the other side. Find your balance first, tighten up the stomach, posture's tall, core's engaged, balance first, get your footing, get your balance. We always want to make sure we're set up with our posture, our core, and our leg stability before we add movement. So get ready, get comfortable with your arms, hold on to the chair if you need to, leg lift to the outside. Think about that core. Pull in the stomach. Keep working at it. 2 more. Last one coming up. All right. Other leg. Doing a different exercise, but we're still balancing. The fundamental move is the balancing on the leg. We're going to change what we do with our arms and legs just to make it interesting. But fundamentally, the foundation is the same. Balancing on one leg, let's go for it. Bring that leg forward if you can. Now from here, everyone's going to be on the same page with that leg up. If you need to hold on to that chair, go for it. You're going to extend out, come back in. The challenge is getting your thigh parallel to the floor. Right? So you want to keep that thigh parallel to the ground. Extend the leg out, bring it right back in. So the knee and hip are at the same height. Think about the core. If you can let go of the chair, great. If not, no worries. Do what you can. Focus on an object or something in front of you to help you keep your gaze fixed on something. Having a focal point to stare at really does help. Think about the stomach. Pull in your core. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right. Moving on. Other side. Balance first. All right, we always want to set up the fundamental balancing posture. All right, posture's tall, shoulders are back, core is engaged. Picking up that leg, trying to get that knee up to about your waist height, getting the thigh parallel to the floor. A little bend in the knee on that standing leg. Holding onto the chair or not, up to you. Have a focal point to stare at. Extend, come back in. Extend, come back in. Think about your core. Keep your posture tall. Try not to lean forward. Really flex your stomach muscles. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Let's take a break on the balancing. Let's work on our calves. Stand behind your chair, both hands on the chair, or even maybe a tall piece of furniture. That's totally fine too. We're going to focus on raising those heels up, off the ground, as high as you can. Lift the heels up. Lift, lift, lift. So the challenge is really trying to keep those heels as high off the ground as you can at the top. Hold it there for a brief moment. Come back down. Now when you come back down, it's a light touch on the ground with your heels, and then immediately lift off and come up onto the ball of your foot. That big bone by the big toe. You want to get all your weight inward towards the big toe, towards the ball of the foot. Hopefully you're not feeling your weight shift out towards the pinky toe. And then you should feel your ankles rolling out to the side as that happens too. So try to prevent that. And believe it or not, you're working on ankle stability, trying to keep your weight inward towards the big toe and the ball of the foot. And you're trying to keep your inner ankles, the inside part of your ankles, equal distance apart as you lift and as you lower. And so that is a challenge. A lot of the times people start off really good with the ankles, and then as they reach the top, the heels and ankles will shift out to the side. And that's what you want to try to prevent from happening. And that's where the ankle stability comes into play. So you're preventing those ankles from going out to the side. You want to keep the weight going in towards the ball of the foot, towards the big toe, lifting both heels as high up as you can. A quick touch on the floor with the heels, and lifting up. Let's keep going. Keep working on it. You should be feeling some contraction happening in the back of your lower legs, the calves. That's what we're focusing on. That's what we want to work on. If you need to take a break, take a break. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep working. We're going to try to power through that burn. It's burning. It's working. It's activating those calves. This is what we want. So keep working through that range of motion, lifting the heels up as high as you can, light touch on the ground with the heels. Feel that weight going inward towards the big toe. Let's do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Take a little break. I'm going to demonstrate the next move, and I'm going to give you two views, front view and a side view. So the front view is going to give you a good setup for the chair and your body positioning. So I'm going to move my right leg. It is the farthest leg away from the chair. That's what I want to move. The left leg is going to stay absolutely still the entire time. Now, from here, you're going to take a good step forward. As you take your step forward, you're going to bend that front knee. You're going to come back to where the feet were together. Then you're going to step back with that same leg. Right? So, side view. Front leg. My right leg, the leg that's farthest away from the chair, steps in front. Notice how I get a good bend in my knee. Push off, I come back. Step backwards. A little bit in both knees. Push off and come back. Now, if you don't need the chair, don't use the chair. So it's going to look like a front step together. Back step together. Same leg moving the entire time to the front. Notice how I'm bending both legs. I'm not getting really low, but I am bending the knees as I land. And I'm not worried about dropping that back knee down too far to the floor. I'm just trying to take a step, absorb the landing by bending the knee joints. Push off, come back. Take a step back. Absorb the landing by bending the knee joints. Come together. Same leg to the front. Bring the feet together. Same leg to the back. Feet together. To the front. Together. To the back. Together. Let's do one more time to the front. One last time to the back. Now the right leg is going to stay still the entire time. Left leg, same thing. Take a step forward, bend the leg, absorb the landing, push off, step back, bend the leg, absorb the landing, push off, step forward. So the same leg taking a step forward, same leg taking a step backwards. You can use the chair the whole time, it's fine. I'm just demonstrating without the chair. You saw how I set it up initially. It's always the leg that's farthest away from the chair that's moving. That way those two sides, or the two limbs that's on the same side, right? The right leg, right hand, the right foot, they're sturdy and they're fixed in place the entire time. So you have good stability on the right side of your body. And then the challenge is to the left, where you step forward, you bend the knees, feet close together, step backwards, bend the knees, feet close together again. And let's keep that going. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. And it's just like walking, except this is a little bit more exaggerated. It's a bigger step. We're getting a lot more flexion in the knee. But it's almost the same functional movement as walking. Let's do one more time to the front and to the back. Okay, moving on. Hamstrings. Using your chair again, kind of like what we did for the calves. Standing right behind that tall end of the chair or furniture. You can use it for support if you want. We're not really going to focus on balance for this because I really want to focus on the hamstrings. One at a time. You're trying to kick your bum, your tush, with your heel. So it's a leg curl, it's a hamstring curl. It's also known as a butt kicker. You're trying to kick your own butt with your heel. So a lot of different names, but the functional movement is the hamstring. Bringing it in, contracting, shortening that hamstring muscle as we bring the heel up, and then lengthening as we straighten out the leg. And we're going to stick with the same side. Just keep working on bringing that heel close to your bum, taking your time. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Same thing. Use your chair. Make sure you're supported with your upper body. I mean, if you want to do this without using the chair, by all means, go for it. But I really want you to focus on bringing the heel close to your glute, close to your bum. And really squeezing that hamstring, the back of your thigh, as you lift the off the ground and bring that heel in. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. We're going to keep that going. Let's keep working on the hamstring. So other leg now, reaching. Hopefully now you're kind of used to the move. And try to pick up the pace a little bit. Bringing that heel in towards your glute, towards your bum. If you're noticing that you're having to balance more than actually physically being able to do the curl itself, if you're working more on your balance than the leg curl, get your hands on something. I don't want you to focus on the balance too much. The primary focus is the hamstring and bending that leg. That's the biggest goal. So if your balance is taking me away from that focus, then you have to have your hands on something. We already got our balance work in. I want to get those hamstrings fired up. Other leg, keep going. Trying to reach towards the glutes. Keep reaching that heel towards the glute. You're almost there. Keep squeezing. Keep reaching. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Let's work on your posture. Posture is important with walking. Find a wall space, a door, something where you can get your back against the wall. Now the challenge, I want you to focus on the glutes, your bum, shoulder blades. Priority number 1. Glutes, shoulder blades against the door or wall. That is the main focus. The heels, don't worry about. The head, don't worry about yet. Okay, so your glutes, your bum against the wall, shoulder blades. Try to bring those shoulder blades together. Try to get those shoulders, your upper back, against the wall as well. Flex the stomach. Pull into the belly button. Keep your shoulders back. All right, so as you try to bring your shoulder blades together, keep your glutes against the wall and keep your shoulders in towards each other. Your shoulder blades, right? We all know where that is, our shoulder blade area. We should all know. We can feel it. That big bone, it kind of feels like a little bit of a wing back there in our upper shoulders, upper back. You want to try to bring those two bones together, the scapula, bringing those scapulas together, in towards each other. And as you do that, you should feel a stretch through the chest, and it almost as if the chest kind of lifts up a little bit, and it kind of perks up your posture and lifts you up nice and tall. Keep your bum against the door. Keep your shoulders back against the wall. Right? Shoulder blades together. Don't worry about the feet. Don't worry about your head. Focus on the core. Focus on the glutes being against the wall. Focus on bringing your shoulder blades together and keeping those shoulders against the wall as well. Tighten up the stomach. Now Here is the challenge. Try to take 5 steps forward, keeping that posture that you just established along the wall. Once you take those 5, that 5th step, make your way back. Now be mindful, go back slow. Take it easy, right? Especially as you approach the 4th and final step back. Take it easy, don't bang your body against the wall behind you. And then set up your posture again. Okay, and if you can, on the second time around, if you can try to get your heels just a little bit closer to the wall, not necessarily touching, but just a little closer so that it's more underneath your body. Then start with the glutes touching, shoulders back and towards each other, right? The shoulder blades, the scapulae, together, right? Posture's tall, core is engaged, glutes against the wall, shoulders against the wall. Tighten up the stomach and try to walk. Again, 5 steps. Keeping those shoulders back. Right after that 5th step, make your way back. Very slow. Take your time. Don't rush. Be careful as you get close to the wall, near that last and final step. Reestablish your tall posture. Now on this last one, do your best to try to get your heels, glutes, shoulders against the wall. So now we're going to try to get those heels there. If it's still tough, don't bother with the heels. Try to focus on the glutes and the shoulder blades coming together and then getting those against the wall. That's always priority number 1. If you can get the heels against the wall too, great. If not, no biggie. Core. Suck in the stomach. Suck in your belly button. Glutes against the wall. Shoulder blades together. Shoulders back against the door behind you or the wall behind you. Tighten up that stomach. Keep your posture. Take another 5 steps forward. On that 5th step, start to make your way back. Going back slowly and carefully. Being mindful of your surroundings. Nice and easy. One last time. Okay, final one. This is a tough one. Get the head back there. It's hard, I know. If you're able to do the heels, glutes, and shoulders, let's start with that. Now try the back of your head. Now if you can't do it, that's okay. But try. Try to get your head back. Try to get your shoulder blades together. Try to get your glutes against the wall. Try to get your heels close to the floor or the base of the floor, the base of the wall. Tighten up the stomach. Now if your head is forward, but you're still lifting your head and reaching back, that's good. Keep that. Keep that tall posture in the cervical spine, the neck. Right? The head is tall. And now let's try to walk as tall as we can and keep this posture. Walking forward, looking like a weird robot or maybe a zombie, I don't know. And that's what we want to try to focus on when we walk. Having that good, tall posture as we walk around campus. So that's it. That's what we were focusing on today, our gait, our balance. So everything that we worked on today, the balancing, right, the legs coming up and forward, the lunging, the stepping forward, the stepping backwards, the calf raises, right, the calf raises were here with the heels, the leg curl, all of that, even standing against that wall, getting our posture tall, it all comes back to walking. So when we walk, for a brief moment, it doesn't look as exaggerated as we did with the exercises, but for that brief moment when I walk, and you pause, look at the stance that I'm in. That front leg is bent, that back leg is bent a little bit. My posture is tall. For a brief moment, look at this. There's a calf raise on that back foot. I bring that leg forward. Look at this. I'm balancing and my leg is actually coming forward having to extend as I take my step. And then the process repeats. Calf raise, bend that leg up, take your step forward, step. So it's all related. They were all connected in some way or another. So when you walk around campus now, I better see that tall posture, because if I don't, there's going to be hell to pay on Thursday. We'll do 500 squats. Which means no one will come to class, which means I'll have the day off. All right. I'm just kidding. I'm only teasing. Great work. We're all done. Bravo.